So here I am again. If I'm completely honest, I'm not really interested in working in the garage tonight, but it's Saturday, it's fall, and it's like 68 degrees out. So it doesn't matter that I don't have any energy. It's too good of an opportunity to pass up. So hang on a moment while I get the welder set up over there, and let's tack that nut onto the engine mount and see what we can get done tonight. So, as we discussed last time, all I'm trying to do is not kill myself. All I'm trying to do is just put a tack on here that's enough of a tack that when I pull it off, it's not going to move around, and then I can weld it around. And then also we're going to pull this one off, this lower left one, and sneak a washer onto it and tack that in place as well. All good? All good. Let's do this. So something I was worried about is that literally that thickness is what I needed to get that bolt tightened up. All those washers stacked up. And one less wasn't enough. But that was all the washers I had for that bolt size. But that's fine. We'll just borrow a larger washer from another one. I guess I could borrow this one. This one might be the right size. Yeah. That'll work. We'll use that. I had this set that way with the flange facing the engine because that's the logical way to do this. But when I put this on there, I'm not going to have any room to weld this without accidentally welding that nut on as well. So for the time being, I'll just flip that around. There's probably, no, I drilled all that. I was gonna say there's probably nylon in there. We're gonna melt out, but all that's drilled out anyway now. So that's fine, that's fine. Now that we've made that nice and hot, let's pull it off. So I just loosened it all, just to see, I didn't pull everything all the way out yet, to see if that main nut I was most worried about was actually stuck, and it's not. So back in we go, and we're going to try this again. That's going to be a much better tack. I was able to see a lot better contact with that nut this time. So let's pull it off, wiggle everything, make sure we stuck. All that work and they still ended up sticking together. So I'm going to have to come up with a better solution for that, and that's fine. We'll make a second go of it. So in that last video, that's how bad that came out. I was way over there. This to me measured as a 90, but that's nowhere near where the bolt actually needed to be. So yeah, I tried drilling just next to it where I thought it needed to be, but then of course the drill wants to walk on you, so I just ended up using a file to pull that down. But it's okay. And this one, see here too, you can see that where the nut needed to be was offset for my hole. And that's fine, because I can, once I weld all this in, I can backfill this a little bit. Then we can even take another drill and just drill bit and just clean that out again after we drill it. So let's go ahead get this welded up now. And this is when you say, Nathan, your welding environment's a fire hazard. And I say, my life is a fire hazard. I did give it a quick brush and alcohol wipe down. I'm not completely insane, I think, about that. Maybe you should stand back a little. That's probably better. Let's go fit it back up again. So I couldn't find anything that I liked to act as a spacer here. So I'm just gonna put the bolt in and then just stick a screwdriver in there to try to push it up against the plate. Hopefully that does the trick. I also want to point out real quick before I weld this in. So this is welded in now, and everything is a little bit loose. Nothing's tight, and the bracket moves just a touch up and down, and almost nothing side to side. That means when I put this on, after the whole thing is fabricated, the likelihood of there to be misalignment because this plate didn't get put in just right or anything is relatively low. As much as I've oversized all the holes, because they're all just where they need to be, just enough to get the bolts in, it's essentially self-located. So by having this welded in and then welding this nut in, I'm gonna have two very solid points of contact that are not going to really allow this to go in misaligned much at all. So it's gonna be pretty close to being on the money. And also anybody who's done a lot of mechanical work, you know that even factory engine mount systems, you still end up often needing to loosen everything get the engine into position where it's happy, and then tighten everything up. That's normal. This is cars, man. This is how it goes. So for reference, that's where our hole needed to be. Ooh, that's still a bit warm. I was in another zip code, man. But yeah, so we'll weld around here and around here, and then fill her in right there. And then we're gonna come on the back side and fill this in. So we have an engine plate. You may not think it's the prettiest thing, but it will do the job. It's also a bit on the heavy side, which is fine. But also remember, you might think like, oh, that's just an 1/8 inch plate. That's not gonna hold the weight of an engine. Keep in mind there's gonna be a tube attached to that, and I can also add gussets to that tube to reinforce this and make this a firm 3-dimensional piece to where this plate isn't gonna wanna flex at all under any weight. So next task would be, well, let's think through it. So this has to go on the engine. And this is now pretty much good enough for the time being. The next thing is that we need something on the chassis side to put that bushing in. I don't think I'm gonna get to that tonight. So this is probably it for tonight, and that's okay. This didn't take me that long. I was probably out here, well, I'm gonna guess hour 20. And but that's fine. You know, an hour every day is a lot more than thinking about it every night. Or something like that. Anyways, point being, keep jamming.